The world of Chinese entertainment has always thrived on stories of love, friendship, and betrayal. Yet some tales transcend the ordinary, they become more than gossip, more than fleeting headlines. They turn into emotional journeys that millions of fans follow with every beat of their hearts. And when it comes to Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan, their story has been nothing short of a rollercoaster, filled with breathtaking highs and heartbreaking lows. From the moment they lit up screens together in the Untamed, they weren't just actors, they became icons. Their bond felt unshakable, their laughter genuine, their chemistry undeniable. For fans, they weren't simply Lan Wangji and Wei Wuxian, they were brothers in arms, partners in artistry, and a duo destined to inspire. But fame is never kind. The very spotlight that lifted them higher also cast shadows. And soon, those shadows turned into storms of backlash, criticism, and relentless online wars. For years, the silence between them grew louder than any words they could say. But what if I told you, behind the walls of fame, away from the blinding cameras, Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan finally found their way back to each other? What if I told you that they sat down, just the two of them, and for the first time in years, spoke honestly about everything, the pain, the backlash, the misunderstandings, and the love they still carried for their friendship? Hello fans, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click on the post notification to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Now, let's uncover the deeply moving story of how Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan reunited in private and how they confessed the ways the backlash almost tore them apart, only to remind them why they needed each other more than ever. The story begins not in the bright lights of a stage or at a grand award ceremony, but in a quiet, unassuming cafe in Beijing. It was said to be one of Xiao Zhan's favorite hidden places, a refuge away from fans and flashing cameras. After years of strained silence, Wang Yibo walked through those doors one chilly evening. No press, no managers, no PR staff, just two men who once shared the world, finally facing each other again. At first, the air was heavy. Neither of them knew where to start. Years of distance cannot be bridged in a single sentence. But as Xiao Zhan looked up and saw Yibo standing there, it was as if time rewound. Memories of laughter on the Untamed set, shared rehearsals for their duet Unrestrained, the inside jokes only they understood, it all came flooding back. And for Yibo, seeing Xiao Zhan again wasn't about fame or duty. It was about finally confronting the truth he had carried in silence for too long. Their conversation began cautiously. Simple greetings. Awkward smiles. But soon, Xiao Zhan broke the silence with a line fans might never forget if they had been there to hear it. Do you know what hurt the most? It wasn't the rumors. It wasn't the articles. It was that I felt like I lost my friend. Wang Yibo lowered his gaze. For years, he had been called cold, distant, even unbothered. But those who knew him best understood the truth. Yibo was quiet, yes, but deeply loyal. He finally answered, his voice barely above a whisper. I didn't leave, Xiao Zhan. I was scared. Every time I wanted to reach out, the backlash got worse. People made it a war, and I didn't want to hurt you more. The room grew heavier with unspoken emotion. Both of them had been victims not of each other, but of the endless backlash. Fans fought wars in their names, companies shielded them with silence, and the media thrived on speculations of rivalry. They were painted as enemies when, in reality, they were two friends forced into a corner. Xiao Zhan nodded, his eyes clouding with the weight of years of solitude. Do you know what it's like to have millions of voices tearing you apart online? To be told you're a disappointment. A disgrace. There were nights I didn't know if I could go on. And all I wanted, more than anything, was to talk to someone who understood. That someone was you. For the first time in years, Wang Yibo reached across the table. He placed his hand over Xiao Zhan's. And I should have been there. I thought staying silent would protect us both. But silence just made it worse. That moment, in the quiet of the cafe, became the turning point. No cameras, no fan wars, no corporate agendas, just two men remembering that their bond was stronger than the noise. As the night went on, they opened up about everything, the 2020 backlash that left Xiao Zhan isolated, the suffocating pressure Yibo felt as fans demanded he choose sides, the fear of saying the wrong thing and igniting another firestorm. For so long, they had carried those wounds in silence, each believing the other had moved on. But in truth, both had been waiting for this very moment to finally be honest, to let the pain out, and to heal. Xiao Zhan admitted that he often replayed their moments from the Untamed in his mind. Not because of the fame, but because it reminded him of a simpler time when friendship wasn't complicated by cameras and critics. Wang Yibo revealed that he too had struggled nights where he scrolled through hateful comments, wishing he could defend Xiao Zhan, but knowing that one wrong word could destroy them both. What fans will never forget, if this story ever reaches them, is that both admitted something powerful: they missed each other. Not the performances, not the duet stages, not the public applause, but the friendship. The laughter. The comfort of knowing someone else truly understood the weight they carried. By the end of their meeting, the cafe staff had long gone, leaving only the two of them in the quiet of the night. And as they finally stood to leave, Wang Yibo looked at Xiao Zhan with a sincerity rarely seen in public. No more silence. Whatever comes, we face it together. Xiao Zhan smiled, perhaps for the first time in a long while, a smile free of the burdens of fame. Together. And with that single word, the years of distance melted away. Fans may never know every detail of that private reunion. Perhaps it will remain a whispered rumor, a secret memory held only by the two men themselves. But the truth is clear: sometimes, the greatest battles are not fought on stage or in the spotlight, but in the quiet moments when two friends finally find the courage to say the words that matter. The Backlash nearly destroyed them. It painted them as rivals, tore their fandom apart, and forced them into silence. But in the end, it also reminded them of something stronger than criticism: friendship. A friendship forged in the fires of fame, tested by storms of backlash, but resilient enough to survive. And maybe, just maybe, that private cafe meeting was not just an ending to years of distance, but the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan no longer let the noise decide for them, but instead choose their own path, together. Thank you for tuning in to K-Drama Bloom.